Each spring, faculty nominate an exceptional undergraduate who has evidenced outstanding scholarship through a composition, research paper, or project that expresses originality or demonstrates depth of knowledge as the distinguished scholar in the college. Paul Seltzer is one of our distinguished scholars this year. A Phi Beta Kappa Women's Studies major in the University Honors Program with a 3.9 GPA, Paul was awarded a Luther Rice Fellowship for a proposal titled Debt, Diversity, and Effective Organizing. He has written for the Feminist Studies and the Global Women's Institute, as well as serving as creator and contributor to the series Fierce on the blog Women in and Beyond the Global. Committed to helping and organizing people to bring about social and economic justice, Paul has been a volunteer patient escort outside Planned Parenthood and active in the Feminist Student Union and the Progressive Student Union, where he has been focusing on holding employers accountable for the treatment of women, people of color, workers, and other marginalized groups. A mentor describes him as brilliant, curious, passionate, engaged, empathetic, kind, and driven by the deep desire to change the world. His work as a Luther Rice Fellow has inspired him to continue his studies as a doctoral student in the future. Paul?
Fellow graduates, it's an honor to be addressing you today. After countless hours of academic labor, it's nice to be able to celebrate with our friends, with our families, and with each other. It's also nice to be able to reflect on how our past work at GW is able to help us shape our futures. We are students of the liberal arts. Regardless of our specific majors, all of us in the liberal arts have the tools to observe, analyze, interpret, and critique the world around us. I think all of us most likely recognize the importance of these tools not just in a university setting, but also in our daily lives. However, to paraphrase one philosopher, the point is not to interpret the world, the point is to change it. And that's exactly what the liberal arts call us to do. After 4 years at GW, I can safely say that all of us know that there is a lot of stuff that needs to be changed. You might want to stop our endless wars or abolish the average $35,000 worth of student loan debt that GW graduates have, or end violence against women and girls, or maybe stop climate change. But an important thing to remember, and something that the liberal arts teaches us, is that none of these problems can be solved by individuals. We must work collectively as a community for a better world. If there's one thing that my time at GW has taught me, it's that collective action helps us realize our own power. And I want to tell a story to illustrate this point. About 2 months ago, a friend of mine and a friend of a lot of GW students was fired from her job. This friend's name is Rochelle Kelly, and she was a worker in the GW dining hall, J Street, for over 27 years. Rochelle is a familiar face to many students and faculty and has been an active leader among the workers at J Street. Now recently, Rochelle's husband suffered a stroke, and she had to take time off from her job to take care of him. Then Rochelle herself suffered a heart attack and had to take an extra few days off to be in the hospital. The general manager of J Street, Bernadette Thomas, who works for the dining company Sodexo that GW contracts, illegally fired Rochelle for taking this time off, leaving her without an income or health insurance. Rochelle's firing comes during a time when Sodexo has been subjecting dining workers to drastically decreased hours, to wage cuts, to verbal abuse, and to mass layoffs, all while the GW administration remains silent. Some who hear this might think that, well, this is a sad story. Sometimes life is just sad and unfair. But we in the liberal arts, we know that this is the wrong conclusion. Because we know that what looks like random bits of unfairness are actually pieces of larger structures that shape our world. And so we in the liberal arts ask questions. Questions like, why are workers' hours and pay at J Street being cut when Sodexo made over $600 million in profits worldwide last year? And questions like, why? And questions like, why would GW contract such a company? We in the liberal arts don't just look to ourselves for answers. We talk to different people and see what they think is going on, what they think possible solutions are, and then we get together and we demand that those solutions be implemented. Within 48 hours of hearing about Rochelle's firing, over 400 students submitted letters to the general manager at J Street demanding that Rochelle be rehired. Students, workers, and professors together organized delegations, held meetings, filed grievances, made phone calls, sent emails, and put together public displays of support for Rochelle and the GW dining workers in order to make sure that the university administration puts pressure on Sodexo to right its wrongs. Now, this campaign for Rochelle and for real food and real jobs at J Street is not over. Sodexo and the university administration still refuse to listen to the GW community's demands. Boo indeed. And I should add that if any of you would like to help with this campaign right now, you can start by contacting Bernadette Thomas in GW Campus Dining at bthomas@gwu.edu. By emailing Nancy Haga in GW Campus Support Services at nmh@gwu.edu. And by talking about this to any and all administrators you see during the rest of this weekend. In the meantime, though, this campaign has also taught everyone involved that changing the status quo involves a lot of collective work. The work of building a community, the work of organizing, the work of educating, of talking, of listening, and of caring. And the fact that we do that work together means that we have immense power. So, fellow graduates, as we transition from being colonials to post-colonials, It's important to remember that we are only just beginning the work of world-changing that the liberal arts has taught us to pursue. And it may be hard work, but the fact that it's work we hold in common means that we are never alone, never without hope, always powerful, and always ready to keep the struggle going. So thank you and congratulations, everyone.